I got a 2007 Lexus IS350. It's not starting. Literally just got here from the tow truck. Let me show you. Nothing. Pressing the brakes and everything, and it's not doing anything. Let me see if it shows. Check VSC. The lady called this morning when I was at the gym, saying that she thought it was a starter. I don't want to put a starter on here and take 3.7 hours and it don't need it. So I do want to just do a basic check. Pressing the brake now. I was hoping I would hit like a tap or something. I don't hear anything. Now she did say it was an intermittent start condition. Let me see if I can get this light off. So she did say it was intermittent starting. I don't have my VSC. VSC. My communication device in there. Okay. Take this glare off. So get all that to come up. Wait. I did not mean to push that. I did not mean to push that. I don't know what I pushed. Let's go to auto detect. So I got something. Okay, I just got something in the background. Let me get this. It's probably too dark in here. Camera's like I have a hard time focusing because of the lighting. All right, did I push? Let me get this straightened out. So when she did call, she said from the symptoms that she described, there was some intermittent starting conditions. I did look up some of the technical service bulletins and just literally skim through them of what possibility it could be. And one that I found said something about the fuel pressure sensor. I'm not sure how that will keep the car from rotating, like cranking. Another one was the ground. So I don't know if that's the case that we got, but damn sure seemed like it. But the check VSC wouldn't be coming on unless there was typically like a check engine light problem. Maybe because it's not working. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know anything yet. Like I said, it literally just got here. So I do have an option. I could probably just go straight under there and test the starting circuit. But I want to see what my options are with the bidirectional tool. And I actually seen one guy like on, I don't know. This was while I was just like on TikTok or something. He managed to start the car up with the scan tool, like get the starter rotate. I'm just like, damn, is that like a thing? I didn't know scan tool, the bidirectional scan tool had that capability in some features. So kind of be interesting if I thought because of like a safety protocol, they probably wouldn't allow you to do that, but I guess some scan tools will allow it. Why is this not communicating? This is interesting. Huh. Shouldn't be doing this. There's a red light there too. I'm not sure if that had anything to do with it. Where's the key at? The key is recognized obviously because it wouldn't turn on or anything. Let me see. Yeah, nothing. Let me see if I can go to the generic or global part and see if it does anything. Because I can understand not automatically connecting. Okay, let's see if we can focus. I can understand that. But if I can't go to the global part too, then we probably got some communication issues with the computer or at the data link connector. Because I definitely should be able to get a global reading. And if I can't, then I'll start checking the pins at the DLC data link connector, or to start checking fuses just in general. It don't look like it's gonna work. I got power going to it though. It might just be like a CAN issue. I mean, could we have ground problems at the battery? Bluetooth connection failed. Yeah, I think we got some PCM problems or something. I don't know how the highway system works from the Daylink connector about where about it goes, but I mean that's something I would need to find out. But this definitely doesn't seem like it needs a starter. Definitely don't. Let me call her and know and see if she want to do like a diagnosis first before we go any further. Because if I put a starter on here, I can promise you it ain't gonna work. All right, this is what we're gonna do. I found a technical service bulletin in regards to the no start condition, and it was a case study related to the symptoms that I'm just experiencing. So I did look up the case study again, and it said something about checking the VVT sensor and on either the intake or the exhaust. And this from the diagram looked like this is the VVT. I'm thinking like it's a cam sensor, but I guess maybe that's what they refer to it as, a VVT sensor. I don't know. So I got the sensor here that states VVT sensor in the diagram. So if somebody knows and I'm like looking stupid, whatever. But this cam sensor obviously is going to have a 5-volt reference. So I do know that. All right, it doesn't show that there's a blue wire from what I see, but there is a blue and red wire on the bank. I want to say bank. I don't know what's bank 1. This is going to be bank 1, so bank 2. So I can pull that and check that, but normally you'll get a 5-volt reference, ground, and a signal. So I'm going to pull this off here. Okay, man, it's on there, and I'm gonna have to. Man, this is like connector is tiny. I got some like 16 gauge wire, and I had to cut that in half. I can't find my safety pins. I'm just lazy. I didn't look up the diagram for this. I'm just gonna simply look for 5 volts, and I'm right here at it. So I have my 5 volts, but it's not on that blue wire. Yeah, so that's our signal likely. So we have a 5-volt reference. So I just don't have any computer. I'm not going to let that bother me. Still have no communication to the computer. So just because the TSB states that this is what would happen if the fuel pressure sensor was defective, that's what's common. I need to go to the DLC data link connector. I need to check for. Might be worth checking for voltage. I don't want to check for voltage at PCM. I think I just need to check the fuses, make sure all the fuses aren't blown. This car also had like ground problems that it could be. Could be ground. Could be the switch. Could be that. Let me see, but the DLC connector has 12 volts. Let me see what needs to happen at the data link connector. Maybe I can just backtrack, because if I don't have, maybe the computer commands a CAN signal, something. I don't know. I'm gonna find that out. I'm checking my grounds here. I checked for 12 volts. I have 12 volts. I checked my low and high CAN, and I've looked for values, and then one was like 0.5 volts, to 8 volts, and another one was like 0.4 to something like that. So I'm not worried so much about it. I just didn't go through a thorough check knowing my values. Now, one thing I did look for was my grounds here. On pin 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So pin 5, I have a ground, and I'm supposed to have another one here on pin 4, and it's not really a good ground there. And this goes to the engine block at the rear of the engine, so it might be worth checking. One thing I will do is see if it supports a load. So that's my next task here, and my 12 volts is going to be here on the last pin 16. I'm not sure how well this camera's going to pick it up. Let me just find my jumper wire. I think I can, because I'm hoping that we do just have a ground problem and I can just repair that ground and call it a day. So assuming that the wires diagram is right, the test light don't illuminate, this illuminates, this does illuminate. Oh man. Then why? So even though the resistance value didn't work, I can support a load, so that's fine. I mean, technically it should work. Let me try it again. Let's try to communicate with this again. Technically it should work. Now the issue from what other guys were having was intermittent. So I did hear like a chime from the vehicle. If it works, then I'm kind of like stumped in a way, because I had the 5-volt reference when it wasn't working, unless it came on and started working then. We'll see what happens, because I have powers and grounds going to my DLC connector. I did check the cans in a way. I mean, they were values. It wasn't, they weren't confirmed. Worst case scenario, I have to pull like a get a waveform and hook up the oscilloscope and check those individual lines. Yeah, it's not going to work. Let me check. I guess we got to go to the PCM and check for powers and grounds. That'll be the next thing, because I should be able to communicate with something. Because nothing is coming up. Nothing at all. Let me try to do an auto scan again. Maybe if I put in the VIN number, it'll force itself into a, I guess a test screen where I could like do a full scan. I'm gonna try that next. If this don't work, I'll just have to update. All right, trying the manual selection. Let's see what happens. And I mean, it could be my scan tool that's probably acting stupid. It's IS350. No, let's put North America. Said it was 2017, so I don't know. All right, let's go to diagnosis. Let's do an auto scan and see what comes up, if there's anything that can be communicated with. Okay, so we got the ABS module. That's a start, so we can start getting some context clues. All right, got this loaded back up so if we can focus. All right, so based off of what I got, the ABS, occupancy detection, and EMPS, which is a power steering, I guess electronic module power steering. This was reflective of when I looked at the DLC pinout, or I think it was referred to as a K-line, or the SIL connector that was pinned. Ooh, I have to look back at that pin. Don't quote me on that. That shows that there's communication there, but there's none from the PCM. So let me see. I haven't looked at this yet, so we're going to look at and see what's common. Maybe it'll give us some context clues. Okay. Control module bus off. Lost communication with ECM, PCM. Cool. Lost communication with yaw rate sensor. Yep. All right. So this is a start. We're getting somewhere. There's no communication with the ABS module. This seemed like a power problem. Like I need to check all my fuses. Could be a ground problem like some of the other people had. But the first thing I'm going to do is check my powers. Even though I have like some voltage value on the can for the computer, I don't know what specifically they need to be because I didn't go through the extent of knowing the specific value, and I didn't hook up my oscilloscope to see what kind of waveform that need to be generated. So I'm just trying to find some commonalities and address one issue, and hopefully it solve the masses. So let me check for fuses. Let me just check those, and then we'll probably go to the easiest module, check for grounds and powers, and see if that helps out with getting this issue resolved. But it still could be a junction, so it might be worth going under that dash there and seeing if there's a junction that has failed. That might be a possibility. But my thing is, the computer has its own network, if I recall properly, so it shouldn't be on this line here. So that's, let me see, I'm at the ECM and PCM. Yep, fuel injector, EV control module. That's another thing we could probably go to if it's own module under the hood. That might be easier because it probably has less pins. I'm thinking about Hondas. You know, they have like a own injector control module. Let me clear all these codes and see what happens, just out of curiosity. 4 and 2. And I'm just gonna try and shut it down and start it back up. Okay. Obviously nothing. All right, I'm gonna leave the key on. Let's go to one of the modules, look for the fuses and see what comes up. I'm just thinking, I mean, I have voltage from that connector, the VVT sensor. So logically, the PCM should be active, but I just can't help but to logically just check fuses and see what comes up. I just feel better if I just check those. I need to figure out where I am. I don't know what module's under here or not, and we'll go from there. Let me get these covers off. I don't know. There's the air box over there, but where's the PCM? I don't know anything. I think there's a computer under this box here. I don't know what's under here. We got a fuse box. Got some fuses. EFI, so we got a fuse there. Let me just start checking these. If anything comes about, I'll definitely update. All right, so all those fuses checked out. Those are fine. Just floating around here. Floating around. I don't know what's in here. There's some more fuses. Okay, power heater, ABS. I mean, I'm gonna check these too. I don't know if somebody tried to jump this off and screwed some stuff up, but I mean, again, I'd imagine if that was the case, I mean, I wouldn't have voltage or anything. I'm gonna check all these two and go from there, because I wonder if somebody tried to jump it off and mess something up, because but at the same time, the complaint wouldn't be like an intermittent start. It'd just be no start. Pulled off the starter relay here. So I'm on the right one. I looked at the diagram. This is a relay. There's a fuse, and that's what that looks like here. And yeah, so I think I'm at the starter relay here. So on the starter, the 12 volts to activate the starter, I have 12 volts. Now I don't on the other side. I need to see what's common. If there's anything related to like a blown fuse with that or something, or how that works. So let me pull up a diagram. Maybe it's something, maybe it's not, but let's see what happens. All right, looking at the wiring diagram, the PCM sends 12 volts to the starter relay to activate the starter. So one of these sides are constant ground, and one of them utilizes 12 volts from the PCM. So this side here should be the side that produces 12 volts to activate the relay to send power to the starter. And that power source comes directly from the PCM. All right. And with that said, there has to be something going on. Now, right now, I'm led to believe that I need to check the push button start, because if I push that push button and I don't have voltage going, I have voltage going to the DLC connector, but that has its own power supply, but I don't have any communication with any module. All right, now if I don't have any communication with any module, and that push button probably isn't feeding power to the PCM, let me check. The check engine light's not on. If I recall, the check engine light's not on. If the check engine light's not on, then the PCM likely ain't getting power. So we might have a problem with that push button start. And that's where I need to direct my focus to. Let me pull that out. Let me go there. Okay, so we're here in the car. Let's see if the check engine light pop on, because I didn't notice. Nope. There's no check engine light neither. So it's a possibility the push button may not be sending power to the PCM. I'm thinking. Let me, because, well, I mean, obviously the check-in light has to come on. We need to have a check-in light. It's usually, it comes on and sometimes stay on, sometimes go off. There's no communication with the PCM. Am I going the right direction with this? I think I need to check my outputs. Let me just do that. I don't want to overthink this, but I just need to pull this switch and check that. So I managed to pull the switch out, and it looked like it's been out before. I don't know if because of where it's positioned, pushing the button cause it to move around and get those what look like witness mark or battle scars, we want to call it. But one thing I need to do is see how to test this thing and see what we need to see. Wait a minute. Maybe I should remove that wire tape, because I don't know if I feel like somebody been back here already. Like this was wired in or something. Because as far as replacement, it was supposed to be like 0.4 hours to replace. And oh shit, I'm screwing up. And maybe like some screws or something supposed to go in. I don't know. I imagine it'd be a little more difficult than just popping it out. Let me pull these off and see if somebody been back here, and because it feels bunched up, like somebody tried to repair wires or something, and it looks like it. Yeah. Oh, something else is in here. Ew, what is this? Could this be the reason why? Is there a tracker? I didn't see that. Oh, wow. Oh. Shoot. Oh. Oh, man. Okay, I didn't see this. What is this? Oh, man. That's probably why. I need to figure out if they're making payments on this car or not. Well. Okay. So this probably explains quite a bit. It's like a tracker or some type of deactivating device. Something to put it out of commission. This may be a problem. Let me call her. All right, I just called a customer, and from what she told me, she made all the payments on the car or whatever, and no money's owed on the car. So I'm like, did they call you and tell you, hey, you made payments, come back so we can take this off, or do you remember anything? And she didn't say much of anything. It was just kind of like short. Like I had no feedback or anything. So that really doesn't help me out. I don't know how some of these aftermarket systems work, and as far as like distorting communications to immobilize the vehicle. So how would I know that this is an interrupter for stopping this car from starting? I mean, I would have to take it out and hook it back up like normal, because I don't know anything like where this wire goes. I don't know if there's like what's cut spliced up or what, but this kind of makes sense that this could be the reason why. Maybe this diagram on the back of the unit here will help. Let me screw around with this, cut some stuff, get it laid out, see what needs to happen. I don't want to waste any more time checking the inside because I can't find anything to really check the push button start. So even though I've had 5 volts on the BBT sensor, I'm going to find the fuel pressure sensor, disconnect that, and see if that's the case. Allegedly there's a pigtail at the back of the motor. I think this might be it right here. I think. This might be it. I don't know. Oh shit, it worked. That might be the problem. I tried to take the connector off, the connector broke. I heard the fuel pump prime. Let me try it now. We gotta check engine light too. So it might be that bad fuel pressure sensor shorting the ground. That's weird. Let me put everything back in that box back in there, because I started to cut it out, but I'm glad I didn't. Let me see if that will cause it to... Oh, you know what? Duh. I have the freaking starter relay out. That'll definitely keep it from starting. All right. So that answered my question. So it might be that fuel pressure sensor short, obviously. I just hate that the test didn't work like it described in the description. And one of the other guys mentioned like, hey, test other things that don't go by that. And I completely ignored that. But I'm kind of chased my ass. So I'm not mad. I'm just disappointed. But hindsight is always 20/20. So we know we need to pull that fuel pressure sensor, because obviously that's shorting the PCM to ground, causing the problems. So let me put everything back that I technically probably don't have to put that box back because she's finished paying off the car. Why would I put that box back in there? And that could possibly be a problem in the future. I might just leave it disconnected and just throw everything back in there because the box don't serve no purpose, especially if the car's paid for already. Why mess that up? But let me hook it back up and see if it refuses to start. Ah, man, I hate that connector broke. So it tried to start and the problem came back. Let me disconnect it and reconnect it. You know what? So fuel pump start priming. Let's see if we can finally get some data. I don't have the freaking thing connected. Let me pull it up. Maybe we can get a glimpse of the fuel pressure sensor and see what that reflects before we say, hey, we need to replace this. Okay, so I got the harness in the back disconnected. Everything's back online. Damn, I'm glad other people went through this because, gosh, it wasn't for Identifix. I don't know how the hell I would have figured this out. So the door module, passenger module, those are not doing anything. Main body. All right. Is there any other problems because of it? Probably because I disconnected harness. I don't know specifically where it goes, but we have results. Something's going on. Yeah, the ECM passed, no fault. ABS got 4 codes. I mean, even then, the computer, this car may not have that many computers, but then again, I didn't probably put the right information in the computer anyway when I was logging into it or trying to communicate with it. Let me clear those and see what happens. Let me just go here. Let's pull up some live data, trouble codes. No trouble codes, interesting. Let's go to live data. Let's see. What? So it can't communicate with it. I probably don't have the right vehicle. Let me see if I can. Yeah, I'm stuttering. Let me go back out. Let me communicate with the vehicle because I probably put the wrong information in when I did a manual selection. Okay, we're getting somewhere. All right, that's good. That's progress. Because before we couldn't read the VIN. I don't know. That's 350. Oh, you know what? I put 2007. Y'all forgive me. I don't know what I got. I had another vehicle I worked on. It was a 2017 today, and that was totally my fault. I don't think it would have made too much of a difference. I'd imagine. I don't think it would have. So, okay, now we're communicating with all the modules. Totally my fault. I worked on 2017 Toyota Highlander earlier, and that kind of threw me off. All right, this is good. We have communication with those modules. I just wish, you know what I could do? I can still hook that up because we know that's the problem now and see what our communication looks like. So let me do that. And maybe we can get a data list. Trouble codes. None. Let's see what live data. fuel pressure right here. So let me hook it up, see what happens. I'm gonna connect it. Fuel pressure still reading 3,000. That didn't change. I guess it's like a default number. Available, incomplete. Oh, the fuel pressure went off. I think that was because of me. Let me see if it has communication with the PCM because I connected it. It might not. Well, it's not. It's not doing anything now because I connected that harness back. Okay, so when I connect it, it doesn't work. We know whatever's attached to that is causing our problem, and it looked like what other people were talking about, which was the fuel pressure sensor. I just wanted to see if the values were going to change from like a default high to whatever. But if it's grounding out, and maybe it maximizes the pressure. I don't know. Uh-oh. It's not doing anything now. I disconnected it. Let me just go to a complete scan. I'm gonna connect it. So I'm essentially breaking it again. So it's broken, technically. Let's do a complete scan and see what happens. All right, so there's no communication with PCM, but we do have ABS, SRS module, combination meter, tire pressure. And I again, I apologize. I totally screwed that up. Put 2017. That messed up a lot of stuff. But it's cool though. It's cool. Went back and started back over, and we're on the right path. I'm not even going to erase that because I make dunce moves just like anybody else. All right. There's communication there. I don't break my neck over it. Let's see where that sensor's located. I wish I would have been able to visually see the sensor. All right. All right. Strange thing, that box that was in there, that was the remote start. I didn't know that. I got it in there, and right now the car's starting up fine. The fuel pressure sensor is still disconnected. I'm gonna hook it back up and see what happens. So when I hook it back up, it just stalls. Now, in all fairness, I didn't know. I don't deal with aftermarket parts like that, and I'm glad I didn't go ripping it out thinking it was like a tracking device or some other security system causing some issues. So this car starts up without the fuel pressure sensor connected. What we can probably do is just go ahead and look at the PID data for the fuel pressure sensor. Let's see what that says. I did make some phone calls for the fuel pressure sensor. That joker's $450. Yes, that's a lot of money. It's a lot. Labor time, it takes an hour to replace the fuel pressure sensor. So simply, I just got to pull off the intake, and I should have those capabilities. Oh man, let me see here. For 3,000. Let me start up and see what happens. Should be able to see if I can get it to do it. There we go. Nope. Hit once. I think I connected. All right. What I'm gonna do? I'm gonna connect that harness back and see what the fuel pressure then reads. Just keep saying 3,000. Either way, I got to replace that fuel pressure sensor, and so I found out this is the cause, the fuel pressure sensor, and the black box that was in there was my just a straight up conjecture. It was a aftermarket start. So the customer, when I called her back and told her what I found out, then that's when she said, "Oh, you know what that box is? It's actually a remote start. That's probably what it is." So and that's what she told me. So yeah, it makes sense. And again, I'm glad I didn't take it out. Next, what we'll do, I'm not going to show the whole process of pulling this intake off. There's 1,000 videos on there. I'm pretty sure me trying to figure out what the hell is going on, chasing my ass, it's going to be long enough. So I'll probably show the process of just removing the sensor, installing it, and showing that this is a confirmed fix, because it's just mainly trying to figure out what in the world was going on versus the actual repair. All right, $450 later, this is what we got. It's an intermotor product. Here's the part number. If y'all know, I frequently patronize O'Reilly's auto parts, and this is what we got. So it's got an intermotor product. Let me show you what it looks like. It's not $450 worth of material. I'll put it that way. And I can get a focus. There's nothing special. It's like just a pressure transducer. I don't see nothing special about it. I don't know why they had to go through all this. This is stupid. A starter for this car is cheaper. Golly. Okay, all right. I'm choking. I want to go get some food. I got bored. All right. I'm gonna pull this intake off because it's like 9:30 at night. I need to get this done because I got a timing job. I gotta jump on timing chain. That's what I'm gonna devote my day to tomorrow. So I need to shut up and work. And I don't know what the easiest thing is, easiest way to do this, but I'm thinking, breaking stuff already. It's like one of those days I just shouldn't work. Toyota's plastics. I know I said I'm gonna document it, but maybe I can just do like one of those, what do they call them things, like a cutaway or something, and it just automatically gets off. I hope there's no bracket back here. I wonder if I just pull all those bolts out from the intake. Then I could shift it and move it, see what I need to do. And I can go from there. Montage, that's the name. Yeah, do a montage or something. I couldn't get that word out. These little clips here. Plastic. in that corner here. There's the sensor right in the back. It's probably a little difficult to see, but here's the harness, the connector for it, and simply I can simply just disconnect it. Got it out. Just gotta get a wrench and pull that out. Just disconnect it. Car been sitting for a while, and then I started up and it ran out of fuel, so I should just be able to rotate it out and have minimal fuel loss. A 24 millimeter wrench. Probably wouldn't be a bad idea to crack that fuel, take that fuel line off. I would have had a little more room. This should be fine though. There you go. This $400 sensor. It's getting rotated out. That thing is expensive. Has a little washer on it. I don't know if the new one came with one. Nope. There's nothing, there's no washer in the box. So I'm gonna take the old one and just reuse it. I'll be fine. Compare the old to the new. It's the old one. I mean, besides it looked like it leaked a little bit, honestly. If you look at it, it's got some wet spots on there. Call me crazy. Or unless it just melted and shorted out. It looks really distorted here to be in a confined area. I get that connector to stay put now. get everything back installed in reverse order. See if it starts up. All right, got everything knocked out. The sensors installed, high pressure sensor. I got all my bolts and fasteners put back on the intake. Evap purge valve. Got this right here, this connector. Hopefully that'll get buttoned back up. It'll sit properly. PCV, brake booster hose, throttle position, throttle body, air intake, mass, airflow. So we're good. The only thing left is to see if it starts up on its own and run. I have the key in my pocket to start it up. Let me see. I would like to see what our fuel pressure is before. All right, so keys on. We got 39 PSI on the fuel pressure sensor now. See if it'll zoom in and capture that. So, ooh, focus. There we go. 39 PSI. If it'll focus. Come on. I probably should just take the camera off. Yeah, screw it. Here. There we go. So we have 36 PSI fuel pressure that's hooked up and it's working properly. So it should actually start up on its own now. Let's see if I can start. I don't know if it'll work this way, but we're going to try it. I don't know if it'll do it because probably because I hit the ignition switch. There you go. My pressure, where's my fuel pressure? There's our fuel pressure. Everything's working fine. Car should be online. We shouldn't have any more issues. I'm gonna do a complete scan. As a matter of fact, I'm just gonna scan I'll do a complete scan, because I don't know if there's any codes on for like ABS or anything. It's currently got 3 faults. I'm gonna clear those out. I'm gonna stop it right here. Let's see. I'm just gonna clear all those. Do a quick erase. Awesome. Run too much. I got the garage door closed. So, all right. I don't know what else to say about it. I hate that, I was kind of chasing my ass early on, but luckily, for them case studies, Identifix came to the rescue. To be honest with those case studies, I'm not disappointed at all, because honestly, with my experience, it probably would have took me about 6 hours to probably figure out what was probably going on once the computer's offline, me testing grounds and stuff, fiber references. But it took me within, I would say, about 45 minutes with Identifix help, and that saved me a lot of time and a lot of money. So it was well worth the money, well worth it. Labor time to replace that fuel pressure sensor was an hour. I did it well within that. There were some 10 millimeter bolts too, and some Torx bits here. Let me tell you it was a T5. That's what it was. So 10 millimeter T5, 12 millimeter in the back for the bracket that support the intake, very accessible, and a 10 on the passenger side of the throttle body. So if you face it in the carb, you passenger side, there's a 10 millimeter bolt, and you still got some, miscellaneous hoses. You saw what I did. I didn't disconnect the coolant, just laid it over to the side, used a bunny strap, support it, and cover the intake up with a towel, and started working with a 26 millimeter to pull that sensor out. Didn't take long. Engine was cold. It's fixed, and I can continue on with my life with all these other vehicles I got tomorrow. And right now it is about 10:32. So it took me an hour. I would say within an hour to do it. I can't remember the last time. I don't know what time I told you before I started. It's finished. So learned something new today. And again, Identifix came to the rescue, saved my ass. And somebody probably would have caught on to that. Probably definitely would have caught on to that. So Identifix saved my ass a lot today. And I'm not at all disappointed. If anything happened, I'll definitely update. But hit that link, subscribe to the channel, stay informed, how to reach my work. See you next one.